I just binged a TV show called Mad Men, and in it, the character Don Draper says,
"The day you sign a client is the day you start losing them."
and it's true, you are going to eventually part ways with your clients, and that's okay. Honestly, it's part of the fun of being a freelancer. You get to work on new things with new people. Here are 6 recommendations to keep clients around. 1 is setting expectations. Once the contract is signed, set up a kickoff call with the client. This is a great time to remind them what's in scope and what goals you're working towards. If you haven't already discussed it on a previous call, you can let them know exactly when they'll hear from you next. You may choose to let them know how often they can expect to hear from you. For example, "Hey client, I'm typically online Mondays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays. You can expect a reply from me within 2 days, but usually sooner." An important reminder, you are not an employee, you're a contractor, and by law, you cannot have set work hours. If they're expecting you to be online during certain hours, or they give you things that need to be done same day, just remind them of the scope of work and that you're a contractor, not an employee.
That is correct.
I once onboarded a client who asked me to send them an email at the beginning and end of every day telling them what I would do that day and then what I had done. Major red flag. So I asked him more questions about why he wanted me to do so without saying, "Hey, this is out of scope." And he said a previous freelancer had been super slow to get anything done. So we remedied this by making a timeline together of when each deliverable would be sent to him. And then I stuck to the timeline. Easy as that. Over-communication is key, especially in the beginning of the contract. My second recommendation for client onboarding is stay in scope. Your scope of work may come in handy as clients ask you for certain tasks. For example, if a client asks you to write copy for their website, but the scope says that they would provide the copy, you can totally remind them. Here's an example. "Hey client, in a previous conversation and per our contract, I understood you would be providing copy for the website. Has that changed? If so, let me know and I can rewrite the contract to include this in the scope as well as an updated price. Thanks." You should be friendly, but be firm about the scope of work. If you say, "Oh, I'll do it just this one time," it can turn into a lot of extra work that you're not getting paid for. So keep your boundaries firm.
Okay, pick a scope.
Third, NDAs. Your client will probably send you a non-disclosure agreement to sign. And again, reminder, I'm not a lawyer, educational purposes only, but give the NDA a read through and flag anything that doesn't make sense so you can bring it up with the client. Some clients are okay with the amount of confidentiality included in your contractor agreement or contract, so I wouldn't ask a client for an NDA, but just know it's fairly normal to be asked to sign a client's NDA. A fourth client onboarding step would be a W-9 form if you're in the US. So this allows the client to issue what's called a 1099 form at the end of the year. It's just a form that shows how much they've paid you, that they give to you, and they give to the IRS. And we'll dive deeper into this in Module 4. For now, you can grab the W-9 template that we have listed below. And if you decide to open an LLC, you'll fill it out with the LLC's information. If you don't decide to become an LLC, you'll put your personal information, including your social security number. And I know that sounds weird, but that is how it works. I remember the first time someone asked me for a W-9, I called my mom.
Mom, help.
I thought I was getting scammed because it asked for social security number. This isn't a scam though. This is something every client in the US will ask for. So make their life easy and impress them by sending over this form as soon as you kick things off. My fourth step is to ask for feedback. Every few months or when I wrap something up with a client, I recommend asking, "Hey, what did you like about this? What did you not like? Is there anything you feel I'm not doing for my contract or not living up to or could do better?" Most recently, when I asked a client this, they said, "Oh, we're super pleased with your work. We love the campaign performance, but in the future, we need a lot more time to create ads and copy." So this was super helpful feedback, and on our next campaign together, I gave them longer lead times, but I wouldn't have known this if I didn't ask. Another client said, "I don't like when you send me your Calendly link to schedule a time. I just want to have a standing call every month, same time." So I thought I was making my client's life easier by letting them schedule a different time each month, a time that worked for them. So this was great to hear and an easy fix. I've also gotten feedback that I'm sending too many emails and they would prefer me to send them Slack messages instead. Totally a valid concern, noted, and I started communicating with that client via Slack. I was able to get much quicker responses. So asking for client feedback is a great way to keep clients happy, and I just keep a reminder in my phone every month to follow up with each client and ask how I'm doing. My fifth recommendation with clients is it's never too early to ask for a review. I recommend asking this in person or on a call because it's harder for them to say no, and it's easier for you to communicate with sincerity how much a review can help your freelance business. I recently had a project wrap up where the client was super happy. I sent over a review request right after our call via LinkedIn, and with my review requests, I always include a script of exactly what I want them to say. I take that LinkedIn review and then I put it on my Upwork, my website, and proposals. My sixth way to keep clients happy is to keep up with your industry and with their company. This is super easy. You can go to Google Alerts and set up alerts that keep you in the loop without too much work on your end. You can set alerts as vague as dog food or email marketing, or something as specific as Lululemon Align leggings. For example, I just saw that a previous client got a lot of funding because of a Google alert. So I actually followed up with them via email. I said congrats on the funding, and I hope that we can work together in the future. So it's a great way for you to stay top of mind and get some of those old clients to come back. One of your tasks for this lesson will be to set up 3 Google alerts. You can also subscribe to newsletters in your industry that hit your inbox every day. Faith and I will share our favorite newsletters in a later lesson, but go ahead and subscribe to one right now.
Okay. You're not getting my clients.